The last person I ever picked up never showed up on any camera. Not once. But every mirror in my apartment started reflecting him 3 days later. I used to work overnight security at a storage facility outside Manchester. The pay was terrible, the hours were worse, but after losing my job during the pandemic, I took whatever I could get. My shift ran from 10 p.m. until sunrise. Most nights were painfully quiet. Empty corridors, buzzing fluorescent lights, rain tapping against metal roofs. The kind of silence that slowly gets inside your head. The facility itself was enormous. 3 floors of storage units connected by long concrete hallways and freight elevators that sounded like dying machinery every time they moved. At night, the place felt abandoned. Except it never really was. People came and went at strange hours. Some tenants stored furniture. Others kept business inventory. One man rented a unit just to keep old mannequins inside. I know that because one night his lock jammed, and I had to help him open it. I still remember hundreds of plastic faces staring at me in flashlight beams. After that, I stopped walking certain hallways alone. But none of that compares to what happened during my final week there. It started with a phone call at exactly 2:13 a.m. I remember the time because the digital clock above the security monitors flickered the moment the call came through. 2:13. The landline almost never rang during night shifts. Most communication happened through radio or mobile phones. But that night, the old desk phone rang once. Just once. I answered immediately. Storage security. Silence. At first I thought the line was dead. Then I heard breathing. Slow. Bit. Uneven. Hello. The breathing stopped. Then a man whispered something so quietly I almost missed it. Unit 36. The call disconnected. I sat there staring at the receiver while static crackled softly through the line. My first thought was prank call. But something about the voice bothered me. It sounded strained, like someone speaking through water. I checked the tenant records. Unit 36 was on the 2nd floor. According to the system, it had been vacant for nearly 8 months. That should have been the end of it. Instead, 5 minutes later, motion alerts triggered in Corridor B. One monitor flashed red. Movement detected. I looked up immediately. The camera showed the 2nd floor hallway outside Unit 36. Empty. At least, it looked empty at first. Then I noticed the unit door standing slightly open. I frowned. I knew for a fact every vacant unit was locked during inspection rounds earlier that night. The camera image distorted suddenly with lines of static. For half a second, something dark moved across the screen. Too tall, too fast. Then the feed stabilized again. The hallway was empty. I grabbed my flashlight and radio. I should have waited for police backup. Company rules required it. But I didn't. That decision still ruins my sleep. The 2nd floor felt colder than usual. My boots echoed through the hallway while fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Half of them flickered weakly, making the corridor pulse between light and shadow. Unit 36 waited near the far end. Door cracked open. Darkness inside. As I approached, I smelled something strange. Not rot, not mold. Wet concrete mixed with old perfume. Like a flooded hotel room. Security, I called out. No answer. I pushed the door open fully and swept my flashlight inside. The unit was almost empty. Concrete walls. Dusty floor. One metal chair positioned directly in the center of the room. Facing the door. That alone unsettled me. But then my flashlight beam landed on the mirror. A tall standing mirror leaned against the back wall. I froze because I knew it hadn't been there before. The previous inspection photos showed an empty unit. Yet there it stood. Its surface looked old and slightly warped around the edges. Water stains crawled across the glass like veins. And in the reflection, I wasn't alone. Someone stood behind me. Tall figure. Dark clothing. Head tilted unnaturally sideways. I spun around instantly. Nothing there. My breathing quickened. When I looked back at the mirror, the figure was gone. Only my reflection remained. I left the unit immediately and locked it again. Back downstairs, I convinced myself stress was causing paranoia. I drank coffee, checked cameras, filled out incident reports. Then the motion alerts returned. Every camera on the second floor activated at once. One after another. Hallway A, hallway C, freight elevator, stairwell. Like something was moving through the building faster than the cameras could catch it. The monitors flickered rapidly between feeds, and every single frame showed the same thing. Not clearly, just fragments. A shoulder, pale hand, part of a face near the edge of the screen. Always getting closer to the security office. My radio burst into static. Then a voice whispered, "Don't look away." The lights above me shut off. Darkness swallowed the office except for the glow of the security monitors. I felt my chest tighten. The cameras were still active. And now every monitor displayed the same hallway. The corridor outside my office door. Empty. I reached for my phone to call emergency services. But the battery had somehow dropped from 80% to 1. Then the office door handle moved. Slowly. Not rattling. Turning. I backed away from the desk. The handle stopped moving after a few seconds. Silence returned. Then came 3 knocks. Soft. Deliberate. "Who's there?" I shouted. No answer. I forced myself toward the door and checked the hallway through the narrow glass window. Empty. But the lights out there were flickering now. And at the very end of the corridor, someone stood near the elevator. Perfectly still. Too far away to identify. I locked the office door and watched the figure through the glass. It never moved. Not once. Minutes passed. Then the elevator beside it opened. The figure stepped inside. The doors closed. A second later, the elevator arrival bell rang directly outside my office. My stomach dropped. The elevator screen above the hallway doors still displayed floor 2. But I heard the elevator outside my office open anyway. I heard footsteps next. Slow. Dragging slightly. Approaching the office door. Couldn't breathe. The footsteps stopped inches away. Then came the whisper. Right outside the glass. "You left me upstairs." I ran. I don't even remember unlocking the back exit. I just sprinted through rain into the empty parking lot while alarms screamed behind me. My car sat alone beneath a flickering light. I jumped inside and locked every door. Then I looked up. Someone was sitting in the back seat. Tall. Motionless. Water dripping slowly onto the upholstery. I nearly crashed trying to get out of the car. But when I turned around, the seat was empty. I drove straight to the nearest police station. They searched the storage facility before sunrise. Found nothing. No intruders. No damaged units. No mirror inside Unit 36. According to company records, Unit 36 had never even existed. The hallway ended at Unit 35. Police reviewed security footage with me later that afternoon. Most of it showed empty hallways. Except for one clip. At 2:13 a.m., footage captured me entering the second floor alone, talking to someone unseen beside me, pausing outside, until I blink. Then the reflection changes again.